Aloha goddesses, happy Thursday. Tonight we are going to be meditating on the goddess Kali, or I should say we are going to be meditating with the goddess Kali. So I'm going to talk to you guys for a few minutes and then I'm going to move out of the camera and turn the lights down and make it so you guys don't have anything to be distracted by, because I want you to hear me, but you don't need to watch my crazy face while you're meditating. We'll end up with our eyes closed, and it just shouldn't matter. But I did want to just kind of remove myself so that there's less distraction. So on Monday, we did our sequence for Kali, and we were talking about getting clear on our desires, getting clear on what we want in life. And when we're clear with our desires and clear with what we want in life, that gives us power. It makes us feel powerful. When I think of powerful goddesses or powerful energies in this world, however you want to think about them, this energy of Kali is one of those super powerful energies. Hi, Sony. Yay, you're here. I'm so happy. We get to spend a bunch of time together today. That's awesome. So I think about Kali whenever I think about powerful goddesses. And before we start our meditation, I just want to tell you a little bit about her and describe her, at least as she's been described to me and as I have seen and witnessed her. So one of the classic Kali stories from Kali mythology has to do with Kali as she maybe first appeared. So we'll go back just a little bit and remind us all that Shiva and Shakti are really one, and so we're looking at two parts of the whole, and then from Shakti we have all these aspects of Shakti, and so Kali is an aspect of Shakti and the other goddesses are other aspects of Shakti, so it's all still connected, right? And so the way the mythologies go, the goddesses and the gods too, they do stuff too, but the goddesses can appear from each other. They can spring forth from each other. And so in this particular story that I'm going to describe a tiny piece of tonight, it's really a larger story about this goddess Durga. And Durga is, I like to think of her kind of as like the calmer version of Kali. She's not quite so crazy. And then Kali sprung forth with her because she was in the middle of this battle and she really needed to get rid of these guys who were being really horrible, and she needed to be super fearsome. And so the form of Kali springs out of Durga's head to basically come in and just win this battle. And so in this battle, Durga had been fighting these two demon kings, and they were really horrible, and so she had been brought in to do that. And then he's got all these other demons and warriors that are springing forth and running all over the place. And so Kali comes, and she basically just wrecks everyone. But one of the sort of iconic things that she does happens in this battle. And so the two demon kings, they have this demon chief, and anytime anyone tried to hurt him and they would cut him, his blood would fall to the ground, and when the blood droplets hit the ground, then they would turn into more warriors. And so if you hurt him, you just brought more warriors on yourself. And so what Kali ends up doing is she has this big giant tongue sometimes, and she basically was able to lick the blood droplets up before they hit the ground, and she ends up being able to defeat this demon king. And so I'll just describe her a little more fully so you can get this picture of what she looked like in this battle. And as I describe her now, I'm going to tell you this isn't how we're going to see her in our meditation tonight. So don't worry. She can kind of be a few different ways, and we're not gonna meditate on her looking like this. But I always like to describe it because I think it's really interesting. So in this battle, and whenever she's in her really fierce form, she's always got this dark blue-black skin, and it might sound not so great, but it's just beautiful. This shining bluish, blue-black skin. She has 4 arms, And she's usually depicted, especially when she's being really fierce, as being naked, except for this skirt of severed hands that she wears around her waist. She also has a necklace of skulls that sort of hangs about her neck and her chest. Her hair is absolutely wild, going in every direction. She, as I said, she has 4 arms, and usually she's got one big sword. And when we think about her metaphorically, we say that is the sword of knowledge. And then she almost always has a severed head of a demon. And her sword of knowledge is meant to be cutting through the false ego, and cutting through our, things that are not serving us. And that's certainly something we're gonna commune with her about tonight. And so she's this really fearsome being, but in all that fearsomeness, she always has really soft, beautiful eyes and a beautiful face. And so even though she's so fierce, she still has love behind her fierceness. And we talked a little bit before, I think on Monday I said, sometimes she's called the warrior, sometimes she's called the destroyer, but she's also called the mother and the creator. And I think if you want to think about her kind of fierceness that's got this love behind it, if you've ever seen somebody mess with somebody's kid and a mom really gets mad because their child has been messed with, or even if you think of a lioness and having her cubs messed with by another animal, heaven help you, right? You're going to feel their wrath, but it's because of love, right? It's because they care so much. So one of the other interesting things that Kali does in this battle also is that as she's battling, as she's doing all this, she's dancing wildly, and she's dancing so wildly and pounding the earth with her feet so strongly that the other gods and goddesses get worried that she's actually going to destroy the earth, that she's just going to stomp through everything. And so what happens at that moment is that Shiva, who we've talked about with Shiva and Shakti being God, but you got to remember then we've got different aspects, and so sometimes we call it Big Shiva and Little Shiva. So Shiva in his smaller form is her consort, and when everyone gets worried that she's going to destroy the world with her dancing, he comes and he lays down under her feet and lets her dance upon him. And I wanted to share that image because I think it really speaks to the power of feminine energy, the power of the divine feminine, that the feminine energy as creation is so incredibly powerful. And masculine energy as consciousness and awareness can be there supporting the creation. One of the things too, though, of course, is that sometimes to create new, we have to destroy what's standing in the way or what's taking up the space or taking up the time. And so sometimes we have to be careful when we call Kali in. If we're not quite ready to make a change or not quite ready to be clear on what we want, sometimes she will feel like she's destroying things in our life when really she's making space for something new. And that's something to think about when you're going through change and when you're trying to figure out what's next and what you want. Sometimes we've got to make the space and hopefully make it cleanly, but sometimes it ends up being a little messy. All right, so a little sharing there on the goddess Kali. I want us to shift to meditation. So I'm going to knock the bigger light off. I'm going to move this and I'm going to just slide to the side so you guys don't have to look at me. All right, so go ahead while I'm doing this and get yourself comfortable if you're not already. I love my octopus because he's kind of like Kali with the arms. She has 4, he has 8. It's kind of the same. All right. So go ahead, get yourself comfortable. If you have something to sit upon to meditate, that's beautiful. If you're comfortable sitting cross-legged on the floor, that totally works as well. However you want to be, as long as you can keep your spine nice and long. And then go ahead and close your eyes. And let's connect with our breath. As you inhale, just feeling your breath flowing in, and letting it flow all the way down into your belly. As you exhale, letting it come all the way up from your core. So on Monday, during our sequence, we tried to really connect with that space between our belly button and our pubic bone. And so if you want to, during this meditation, put your hands there, you can, one hand on top of the other. I want us to connect into that space again. I want us to breathe into that space again. And just take these next few moments to do that. Really breathing all the way down into that lower part of your abdomen. Sometimes we call that the hara. In Taoism, they call it the dantian. It's that really deep core space. If you know your chakras, it's your root chakra, right? We're breathing down into that space. And then as you're breathing down into that space, I'd like for us to start silently repeating a sound in our mind. So each of the Shaktis, each of the goddesses have what we call a Bij mantra. Bij mantra means a seed mantra. And so it's a sound that actually is equivalent to the goddess herself. So we say these sounds embody the entire energy of the goddess. And so you can use these mantras when you're wanting to invoke those energies, when you're wanting to invoke a particular goddess. They all have a longer chants as well, but for us, for this workshop, we're just going to stick with the Bij mantras, with the seed mantras, because they really hold all that power on their own. And so they're beautiful because you can just say them. They're really, really simple. And so as you breathe on your inhale, and I like to on my exhale as well, you're just going to say in your mind to yourself, cream, cream. And it's almost as if you're saying it and humming it at the same time. Cream. Cream. And so spend the next few moments really getting in touch with that sound. Cream. Cream. Every time you breathe. And if you would like for the rest of the meditation, you can keep that sound going, or you can let it go as we start to imagine other things. It's up to you, but if you can keep it going, that's beautiful. If not, that's totally okay too. But as you're here, just continuing to breathe, maybe continuing to find that Bij mantra, cream. I want you to imagine and just find yourself sitting on a beach. You're on the beach and the sun is just barely set. Night is almost upon us. The sand upon which you sit is still really warm from the sun. You might be leaning up against a rock, towards the back of the beach. You might be even in a slightly little cave if you want to feel like that, so you feel nice and protected and safe here on the warm sand. The waves out in front of you are just barely crashing. You can hear the sound of them, see them moving gently in front of you. And then almost as if it looks like the sun is coming back up, and you know that that can't be true, you start to notice this warm red light rising up over the ocean. And this warm red light grows bigger and starts to seem like it's moving from the horizon towards you. And as it starts to get to the edge of the sea, to the edge of the water, then you can choose to experience it a couple different ways. If you want to keep just experiencing the warm red light or just the feeling that we're going to create, you can do that. If you want to imagine more fully, then that red light is going to start to take the shape of the goddess Kali. As we said earlier, she's blue-black, and so that red light might start to seem even warmer and almost turn into the blue at the really hottest part of a flame. And then she'll appear out of that, and you can see her floating there in front of you, and then coming nice and close, and maybe sitting down on the beach in front of you. So not quite as fearsome as we described in the battle scene, but still the same fierce being. She still has her 4 arms. She's got her dark blue-black skin. Her hair is still really crazy. She's got her sword. And as fearsome as she looks, you can still see the love in her eyes, and you can feel the kindness in her heart. And as she's there in front of you, you can see that she knows you. And she sees you fully. She sees your strengths. She sees your beauty. She also sees and accepts your flaws and your weaknesses. She sees you fully, and because she sees you fully, she truly, truly loves you. As she sits there in front of you, you might be compelled to ask her, either silently or with actual words in your mind, to help you get clear on what it is you desire in your life right now. And as you ask her to help you with this, you'll notice that around her, that light starts to glow again. She starts to get brighter, and her whole aura, her energy starts to flow directly into that space of your hara, directly into your core. It might grow bigger and it might be fully all-encompassing you. But just feeling that energy flowing from her to you, almost like a fire that can burn away the things that do not serve you, that can burn away your doubts, and let you get really, really clear on whatever it is that you want. So take a few more moments in the presence of Kali, feeling that energy flowing from her to you. And then take a few moments and just let her go. See her moving back over the ocean, turning into that pure, beautiful, reddish, orange, glowing ball of energy just as she appeared originally. And then your choice tonight, you can sit here for a few more moments, or whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed meditating with the Goddess Kali. And if you didn't get to start at the beginning tonight, I encourage you to go back and start at the beginning, because we told some interesting stories and did our little meditation. Let's see, maybe I can get my face back in here. There we go. So, hi Bunny, Bunny's here. So think about the meditation and know that if your desires didn't immediately become clear, a lot of times when you meditate with these energies and when you meditate with the goddess, the sort of epiphanies will come in the next few days, and so it's not like she's just gone. If you've drawn this energy in, the energy is here to help you, and so don't feel like, oh, I didn't get an epiphany right now. It's coming. Don't worry. So tomorrow, look on the group page for a journal prompt that will be up. And I hope everyone has a great day tomorrow and have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys again on Monday for our next goddess, who is, don't tell the others, but she's my favorite on Monday. So have fun with Kali. And if you didn't get to do the meditation now, go back and do it, because I think you'll really love it. All right. Good night, Sony. Good night, Bunny. Good night, everyone. And I'll see you guys again soon. Aloha and namaste.